Enlisted is a World War II squad-based online first-person shooter that was made by Darkflow Studio, who are based out of Latvia. It has been published by Gaijin Entertainment and was actually released into game preview program back at launch of the Xbox Series consoles on November 10th of 2020. I've spent roughly a dozen hours or so with the game so far, and I'd have to say that my impressions can be boiled down to pretty much I'm glad this is in game preview because there's a lot of promise here, but it needs even more work. I found myself intrigued when the game was announced for the series consoles back in October. It had been originally announced for PC in 2018, and then development went dark, and it took 2 years before we really heard anything about it again. They had a playtest in the middle of 2020, and then back in October, as I said, a surprise announced for the launch of the series consoles. The studio's only other credited title is Cuisine Royale, which they recently renamed to Cursed Foad, or CRSED-FOAD, which stands for Cuisine Royale 2nd Edition Fulfillment of All Desires. That's a mouthful. That game was an April Fool's joke based on the Enlisted engine. Oddly enough, it controls a heck of a lot better than Enlisted does right now, and I hope they get more towards that type of system. Graphically, the game's fine. It's obviously early access, though the audio can be legitimately great. The guns have that good ka-thunk to them, and the music I'd put at the higher end of the generic World War II orchestra. Oh, those controls, though, they need a lot of work. While attempting to simply turn left or right, you routinely twist like 90 degrees. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens often enough to color every moment you're in the game. Aiming is meant to be more difficult than in a game like Call of Duty, but this just feels terrible. It doesn't occur while aiming down sights. That feels fine, thankfully. But it really hampers any attempts at firing from the hip or just having any fine movement when you're not aiming down sights. Enlisted is $30 for the base edition or $50 for the deluxe right now. It is planned to be free to play. The paid versions, they get you incredibly powerful squads of max level soldiers, one for the Germans, one for the Russians. You only get the one, depending on which $30 version you buy, or you get both for the $50. They gave us a bundle that was for the $50 version that had a squad for each side. They're max rank, they're really powerful, they're not full, it's only 5 people to start and your squad can be up to 11. But having 5 max level players is pretty darn powerful right off the bat. The only mode in the game itself right now is squads. You play with up to those 10 AI squad mates. You can swap between them when your player-controlled character dies. And having a squad that is that quickly leveled right away is a massive advantage. There are also tank and plane squads. There are engineer squads and other things you'll level up and earn. The tanks are very much a glass cannon type. You can mow down dozens of people, but 1 or 2 make it through and they can take you right out. The planes are really hard to control on a controller. I've heard it's a little better on mouse and keyboard. On the whole, though, they're extremely powerful, and they can take your whole squad out, and there's not much you can do about it sometimes. So that definitely needs some balancing. Right now, the only campaign in the game is the Battle for Moscow. PC recently had a Normandy invasion playtest that people seem to be pretty happy with, though it needed some balancing. And the Battle for Berlin has been confirmed to be another campaign that is in development. As this is a game preview title, I hope that the microtransaction system along with the controls are at the top of their list for things to be adjusted as time goes on. During my short time with the game so far, there have been a few patches already showcasing the developer does have a dedication to the product. There is promise here, and while the controls and monetization need some work, the moment-to-moment gameplay can feel deeply satisfying at times, actually. It's hard to hit a shot for everyone, and when you do, it can feel really good. This absolutely is a prime title for the game preview system, and we'll be keeping an eye on it here as it approaches full release, though I wouldn't be shocked if that was quite a ways away. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and we will see you here next time on XboxEra.